Introducing sit to your puppy in 3 simple steps. It's important before we get started that you understand what a food lure is. A food lure is taking a treat to your dog's nose and slowly but gently moving them in the direction you want them to go. As soon as they get to the position you'd like, you're going to then release the treat. Don't move your hand too quickly and lose contact. You always want them licking the treat out of your hand. We're now going to use that food lure to manipulate him into the positions we want, in this case, a sit. So I'm going to tip his chin up to the sky, and as soon as his hind end hits the ground, I'm going to say yes and release that treat. In this step, I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to get him used to the muscle memory of what I want him to do. Once he's doing that quickly and consistently every time, without much thought, I'll then name it. Up until this point, we've only practiced from the standing to the sitting position, but don't forget to practice from the down to sit position as well. By this point, you can say sit and then lure your puppy, as long as it's happening this quickly. If they're still confused, don't name it yet.
Sit.
In step 2, we want to introduce a hand signal. This is a way to start phasing out the use of a food lure. You're going to start off pretending like you have a treat in your hand, but you actually don't, and it's hidden behind your back. You're going to start off with a hand signal close to your puppy, and with each rep get higher and higher until your hand signal is no longer needed. In step 3, we're phasing out the use of the hand signal and food lure. I'm going to stand there without my hands giving any cues as to what I would like him to do. Instead, I want to see if he's listening to my verbal cue of sit. I'm going to wait a minute. Some dogs need a second to process. But if they get confused at any point, I'll go back to step 2, the hand signal, or step 1, the food lure. Once your puppy can sit inside, it's time to practice in more distracting places. This is called proofing. When you go outside, your puppy's going to be distracted. Don't repeat the word. Instead, go back to the basics. Offer a food lure or a hand cue. Be persistent and patient. To compete with distractions, bring out high-value foods such as boiled chicken. This will help keep your dog's focus on you rather than the competing distractions. Once your puppy is sitting every time you ask, you can then begin to decrease your frequency of food rewards. Don't get rid of them altogether, but instead reward only the best attempts or around distractions.